Okie dokie, everybody. Welcome back. You're here at the Fox Den with Pater Voss, the Papa Fox, and we're going to continue playing Pillars of Eternity. When we last, or the White March DLC, when we last left off, we'd picked up this guy, Zahua, a monk with a somewhat interesting way of looking at the world. And we are now going to continue on. Let's go ahead and see what we can see and find and do, and maybe loot and steal and pillage, and all of that good stuff. Oh, right. I forgot we had this on. Well, that's kind of fun. Right. Okay, let's go ahead and see what's in this room. And we'll just start here and work our way on. So how are y'all doing? I am doing absolutely wonderfully. I got my front porch iced, and hopefully all the stuff is melting. So there we go. Fishery guard, fishery worker.
Perhaps I
Back to work, everyone.
Outside.
No time for dallying.
Oh, okay. All right, let's talk with him.
A fine thing you reached us when you did. They would have burned the fishery next, mark my words.
He wraps your hand in a sturdy handshake.
And the last thing this lot needs is another excuse to knock off early.
He raises his voice at the last remark and glowers around the room. The other fisherfolk look studiously away and focus on mending nets, gutting fish, and sorting the day's catch. I can't imagine why they'd be in any hurry. He looks as if he's trying not to breathe.
Anyway, excuse the mess. If there's something you need, the clerk can get you sorted.
He raises a graying eyebrow at a man sorting various stocks and supplies near the back of the room.
Just watch your step if you've a mind to look around. The floors are slick and none too pleasant to fall on.
I got some questions about the fishery.
Been running it 4 decades now. I reckon I can tell you what you want to know.
Seems like a big operation.
It may stink of fish guts, but there's no place more critical to Stalworth's survival.
He nods, a blush of pride rising above his beard.
Herds come and go, so there's seasons when our catch sustains the village.
He glances around the fishery, bustling with activity and warm with the heart of the cook fire.
But try telling these folk as much. We go home each day covered to the elbows in fish oil and entrails, reeking of our work.
His eyes soften with the gaze of a stern but loving father. Aloth forces a smile. Charming.
Stalworth's shrinking, but it would disappear if we lost the fishers. I drive 'em hard, but I can't afford to do otherwise.
What do you do here?
Just about everything. I track the day's catches and see that our nets and hooks are in working order.
He crosses his arms over his broad chest, throwing his shoulders back.
My family's been in charge of the fishery since the early days of Stalworth. I know the best spots to find frost dive or an iron-toothed pike, and I make sure we don't overfish the speckleback.
That's all I wanted to know.
Need anything else?
Farewell. Okay, let's go ahead and talk with the clerk. Hello, clerk. I wasn't expecting anyone to come by the fishery for a while. Guess that's the proper way to go about it, really. Carry on like it's business as usual. Can I get you anything? Let's see what you have, of course. Righty, ivory worm figurine. What does that do? Oh, summons 2 worms. That's pretty cool. And the ring of overseeing. What does that do? Plus 10 ability area of effect. That's pretty neat. Cool. Awesome. Well, that's good to know. Righty. Let's go see what else we can find. Deedly-doo-dee-doo. Alrighty. This is just beautiful music all the way around. Okay. Let's take a look at our map here. Okay, we can go to the Temple of Andra. Grief's Rest, Durgan's Battery, Thisk's House, Tenna's House. And looks like they also have a hot spring. Let's go ahead. Oh, what's this? I'll find it without your help. I'm not giving up, you hear me? Okrum? Charlatans, I'll... Okay, let's go ahead and talk with him. A dwarf paces with his head down and arms crossed, only stopping to hurl glances at the building behind him. His face is smeared with dark with grime, and soot falls from his beard as he mumbles to himself. Work my hands into bloody stumps in this place, and for what? He kicks a mound of dirty snow. Start with nothing, leave with less. He extends his arms out. Who are you yelling at? At idiots, that's who. I'm not as much to blame for believing them. And I'm as much to blame for believing them. The dwarf wrinkles his nose, nostrils flaring like a horse. Well, good riddance. Should have never settled here in the first place. Some things you mean to leave behind, come to find out that you packed them anyway. But I'm not leaving until I recover what's mine. They can't deny me again, not after this. Ukran gestures at the burnt-out buildings. Those sweet-tongued priests took my heirlooms. Bury the memory of the past, they said. Now I don't even have that. I take it you gave something of yours to be one of Andre's gift-bearers? Ukran takes his gaze away from the ground and gives you a sideways glance. You're quick. Wish I had had those wits when they spoke of peace and redemption in the eyes of the goddess. Those priests, Andre's dogs, said the goddess would forgive, that some things are best left to be forgotten. He nods towards the nearby temple. Their leader laughed. I believed her words. Another one of them, a gift-bearer, took my medallion. He closes his stocky hand into a fist. And now they won't tell me where it is. Your problem is that you've given meaning to meaningless objects. Here, let me show you something. I need one of your rings. Ukran draws back his hand, but Zahua gives him a trustworthy nod. After a moment of hesitation, Ukran relents, dropping a jeweled band into Zahua's outstretched palm. Immediately, Zahua flings it into the lake. See, you're no worse off. Ukran's face, already splotched pink from the cold, turns a deep shade of crimson, and his mouth puckers as though his head were set to implode. After a tense moment, his breathing slows, his fists unclench, and his original look of pain frustration returning. Why won't they tell you? Because they think they know me better? That's why. Said it was the only way I'd forget. Why did you want to forget about your past? That was a different life. Better days, and until... Ukran closes his eyes and shakes his head. Motes of soot fall onto his hunched shoulders. It's my burden to bear, not yours. I thought to cast it away, but the memories I lost were all the wrong ones. What else did you give the priests? The dwarf casts a measuring look at you. He quickly turns his head away and nods. You understand its value. My armor, a set finer than I have ever seen, but worthless to an old dwarf. I'd have traded it for the medallion, but fool that I was, I gave them both. Maybe there's maybe they'll respond better to tact than tirades. The dwarf grunts. Sharp metal always used to win my arguments, but I see your point. I'd be surprised if they'd return it willingly. They believe it's a sacred duty to cast the offerings to the goddess in some place where they'll be forgotten. Better to find where they drop them, I think. And what's Lafta's role in all this? She leads that group of crows. They took over the temple as folks started to leave. Came to unburden those that sought to forget their misery here, they say. Tell me about this medallion you want to recover. It belonged to my sister. It was just a pretty trinket to her. To me, the dwarf casts his gaze down. She was the last of my family. At least that still acted like family to me. Well, goodbye. I don't expect luck to grace me now, but if you find anything, I'll be here. Count on it. He gives you a vigorous nod. Okay. If I adjust this like so. Okay, let's talk with Ista.
Oh, it's working! Yes! I can't believe it! It's really... Oh...
The dwarven woman looks at you, disappointed expression on her face. In her hands is a large rectangular box covered in strange dials and symbols. What's working?
My ore locating divination tool. Well, that's what it will be. I have to calibrate it. Right now it seems to think you're a copper deposit. My animancer contacts did suggest that a particular strong soul essence might interfere. I'm more interested in minerals in any case.
Maybe I do have a strong soul.
I suppose that's possible. It's not exactly what I'm looking for, unfortunately.
What are you looking for?
I'm trying to recreate the instruments that first led the Parkland dwarves to this mountain. This is my latest prototype.
She holds up the metallic box.
Centuries ago, dwarves carrying tools just like this one followed their readings to what is now the battery. If I can recreate their work, then I may be able to find ore deposits elsewhere.
Ooh.
I was hoping to test it, but my arrival was delayed by word of the ogre attack. I haven't been able to find anyone to venture up the mountain since.
I can go up the mountain for you.
Really? That'd be wonderful. I just have to adjust the device, you see.
Her hands move swiftly over the box, adjusting knobs and dials.
It should point you toward metal deposits. We already know the battery rests on some rich veins, but I was hoping to get a reading of the surrounding mountainside. If you can follow the readings to ore and bring back a sample, I can use it to refine the device.
Cool.
Thanks ever so much for this.
She hands you the box. You're very welcome. Cool. Awesome. I always like to help out people. Helping out people is pretty awesome, and it makes me feel good. Okay, let's go into the temple. And then we go to the temple. I'm pretty sure Gollum never set foot in one, but okay. Swordsman, shieldsman. Lafta. Quextel. Andres, the Spellweaver. Right. Lafta. Veins course under this woman's pale skin like icy fissures, yet when she speaks, her voice flows warm and smoothing. Andra welcomes you into her embrace. Her features soften with compassion. We're here to ease the pain of your past, ready to take your burdens. With a thin smile, she nods. If you let the goddess help with your hardships, of course. Tell me about Andra. Andra's the goddess of redemption, deep like an ocean and gentle as a mother. She's here to relieve her children of their darkest burdens. We came here to aid the villagers, to heal the wounds of the past that fester in their souls. I thought Andra was the goddess of loss and mourning, not redemption. That's, the priestess crosses her arms and shifts her weight. A common notion. Others may believe so, but the goddess's mysteries are profound. Her true power lies in redeeming your loss and regret. Was there something else you wanted to talk about? I want to know about the gift bearers. Gift bearers do Andra's most valued work. They carry the material burdens of unfortunate souls into her embrace so that the goddess may help them forget. I wanted to ask you about Okrun's heirloom. The dwarf already asked. We gave him the counsel he needed. Slight irritation sharpens her tone. She seems to catch herself, modulating her voice back to the pleasant timbre. And naturally, we'll do what we can for you, too. Ask what you will. Okrun wants his medallion back. She brings her hands together and nods. Ah, Okrun, how often we let the shadows of the past become a burden even to others. That medallion, it weighs on Okrun's mind. You're kind to help, but what he really needs is to cast away those memories. He's changed his mind. As a priest, you must listen. I listened to him. Such dark memories, so much regret. We took his burdens for his good and for the good of the village. His belongings, his past, now rest in Andra's realm, to be forgotten so that the wounds of the soul may heal. This is the will of the goddess. Prove it. I don't let superstition get in the way of logic. A thinker, are you? I'm not in the mood for long discussions. A hint of color appears on her cheeks. There's no need to quarrel over the mysteries of goddess will. I'll tell you what you wish to know. Okrun's heirloom was taken by Ixtil, the chosen gift-bearer among us, to be cast away as an offering to Andra. Only he knows where. She pauses and looks at you intently. You could ask him yourself, but he's on a trek through the mountains of Durgan's Battery. If you run into Ixtli, tell him he has urgent duties to attend here. Tell me about your gift-bearer. Ixtli had business near the Durgan's Battery. Those mountains are dangerous. If you insist upon carrying out this request of Okrun's, then that's where I'd search for answers. It's hard to believe that the gift bearer only knows where Andra's gifts offerings are cast away. Is it? Our goddess frees us from our earthly burdens. It's best if only one of us knows where they are taken, lest we all end up suffering under their weight. Some other questions. Farewell. Regrets worth trading. Okay, let's talk to Quetzalcoatl. A young man dressed in sturdy leathers glares at you. The creases in his face, tan despite the scarce sunlight of the region, suffer a slight twitch as you approach him. I've got nothing for you. Speak with Lafta if you must. He turns away, his nose wrinkled. Okay. Good day to you too, sir. It's kind of rude, but all right. That kind of hurt my feelings. Oh. Okay. Right. As you step outside, the heaven wooden door of the temple slams shut behind you. You hear someone barring it from the other side. It sounds like the priests have engaged in an agitated conversation. You sense that they are discussing you, but you're also certain that the door is too thick to eavesdrop through, although there may be other places nearby where you'd stand a better chance. Okay, I can't believe this. Let's go ahead. The wooden shutters of the temple window closed tight, muffled a set of voices coming from within the building. You can't quite make a sense of the murmur, but cracking the shutter would likely help. Yeah, let's unfasten the latch. You carefully begin to lift the latch from its metal hook. Halfway there, the rusted iron resists with a screech. You freeze, listening to the voices in hopes that the priests didn't hear. Their conversation continues uninterrupted. Pour some oil on the latch. You grab the latch and apply just the right amount of oil, nudging the metal until its rust gives way without a sound. Carefully, you pull the window shutters open to let the voices flow through. You hear a man speaking, his tone agitated. You do that? Hope the mountains will do it. What if Ix... His sentence cuts, as if the man were speaking to all sides of the room. Suppose he tells them instead. What then? You recognize Lafta's voice responding. Why would he? With all those dangers near the battery, our gift-bearer won't delay. I expect the man interrupts her. You always expect. Look where that's taken us. A dying village, ogres at the wall. Ixtli's not back yet, and now I don't have to do his... His voice drops and seethes, muffling what he has to say. After a moment, Lafta replies, Do you think I wanted this? That I could have known in advance? A pause ensues, its tension growing until the priestess's voice cuts it in half. We can't wait for him. We must fish out the last batch quickly. After that, we'll decide. The man responds in a broken voice, barely audible. You only distinguish the last words. In that russet wood pond. I'll go. Their exchange seems to end. Cautiously, you step away from the window of Andra's temple. Okay. That's kind of not good. Find the gift bearer or search the waters of the russet wood. Let's talk with Okran. Goodbye. Okay. I think we're actually going to call this an end of the episode a little early. If you've enjoyed, go ahead and leave a like or give me some feedback if you prefer. Of course, as always, it's great to see you all here at the Fox Den. I hope you come back next time and pull up a chair for some more Pillars of Eternity, the White March DLC. Alrighty, y'all take care now. Bye.